Hello there everyone, I am Ben the Bold, and welcome back to our Hannibal at the Gates campaign. Now I get it that it's been a few days since my last video, and well, that's because I have been traveling for the holidays. But I am back home now, and while I am getting over a small cold, so forgive me if I do a little bit of sniffling, I'll try not to do it into the microphone. I think I am ready to start recording again. I was holding off recording just because I was doing so much sniffing and coughing. Anyway, I'm back, and really excited to play some more Imperator Rome, so without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. We are locked in the middle of a large war in Iberia, one that, as you can see, we are doing fairly well at, although we do seem to have some barbarians. Troubles in the desert, oh no, I think we're actually going to lose this fight. This army, I think, could, well, one, it's a governor's regional army. It has been just given to the governor, but it could stand to have a few more people in it, especially since that governor is a pathetic military leader. I don't want to hire any mercenaries, so I will go ahead and... Where's my fleet? So there's my fleet. It's coming. I guess these 10,000 men will be destined for the desert. Anyway, we are continuing to fight on epically in Iberia. We have 28,000 men just chilling here. I guess they're restocking their food supplies. How are your food supplies looking? Pretty good indeed. I think I'm just going to move them a little bit closer so they can be more part of the action. These 16,000 men, how are your food supplies? Not great. And I don't know if you're actually going to siege that down before your food supplies run out. You do have a supply wagon, but you're eating quite a bit. So I think I might actually have you just come here for now. Yep, there are those barbarians. We knew that they were coming. Let's go ahead and pop these 10,000 men into some boats. We'll embark this army, and we will send this army southward into the desert. Unfortunately. Oh well, can't be helped. And when this army stops marching, let's go ahead and add some units to it. Just some slingers, maybe some skirmishers as well. Let's just give them a nice little chunk of troops that they can use to fight and keep barbarians off my backside in North Africa. Meanwhile, I have bigger things to worry about. Well, we've beat a pirate fleet, it looks like. Good job. I have bigger issues to worry about here in Iberia. We are continuing to try to go down these mission trees. Specifically, we're looking to try to, what, secure, no, where were we here? Okay, so we need Menesthene. Oh. Alright, so we will need a little bit more of the Tartesian land. But we were doing something over here. Secure... Alright, so yeah, we're trying to secure Hispania. Have we not gotten there yet? I guess there are just a few more... Oh, we just need to have 5 cities, so we need to build some more cities. Also, Rise of Nova Carthage. What do we need? Oh, release a subject named Nova Carthage. I'm not really interested in doing that. I would like to keep Carthage to myself. Although maybe there is actually some benefit in doing this. It would go a long way. I mean, they would be a subject. I assume they would be like a client state. I don't know. I'm probably going to go with settling Hispania. I'm already building the cities, and then, of course, what are some of the other ones? Protecting the hinterland. Ooh, I just need to build some fortresses. Okay, I can do that. I can do all of that. In the meantime, we are just going to continue to try to win this fight and see if our allies will actually give us any territory. I don't have super high hopes that my allies will give us a ton of territory in this war, but alas, we might as well try. You are going to siege down this province capital, and that is going to allow you to, one, take some slaves, but also start increasing your food supplies. Aside from that war in Iberia, let's take a look. How are we doing in the politics tab? We're going to have a member of the mercantile faction come to power next. That's excellent. That's just going to mean more and more commerce income. I'm all about that commerce income, although we could lose 200 gold here, and the religious faction will be more likely to vote for me. I don't want to lose 400 gold. Yeah, I think I'm actually just going to go ahead and spend the 200 gold. We did win this siege. It's perfect. That's going to open up our avenues of expansion. On the southern front, I still have these 2 armies, which honestly 2 armies down here is probably overkill at this point, especially since they actually seem to be moving some manpower towards my troops up here in the north. But alas, I'm not really super worried about their armies. These barbarians, oh, that is an annoyance. I forgot. I completely forgot I had moved this army down here to deal with them. And yeah, you're still just going to be on defend borders, I guess. I'm going to put you to drill. I'll tell you what, this hasn't been a super difficult fight as of yet. Oh, good, we won. Excellent, excellent. And we're just going to take a bunch of more slaves. I do want to keep in mind that, well, one, I'm making plenty of money. I also have plenty of political influence. I'm going to actually kind of halt on developing Carthage and only Carthage, and instead I'm going to look towards maybe this province, the, what is this? Bisatus? I think it could be useful. Well, actually, I was going to build some building. I was going to hit the button for some building slots, but honestly, we're looking pretty good. You know what? I might as well just trade some fish to it. Anything else? Anything else? Maybe some grain? Nah. How is Carthage looking? Should I just go ahead and hit the button to entice business investments, especially because it looks like we need some fish here? Or some food in general? Yeah, I guess I will. Let's entice some business investments. Kudos. And also, we're going to build an aqueduct because, well, we're running out of pop capacity. Of course, trade routes also increase your pop capacity, so who knows? I probably would have been good, but it doesn't hurt to have the aqueduct at this point in the game. Oh, looks like we're victorious. Oh, didn't even realize we were fighting, but we apparently fought an epic fight. We have also taken this fort. That is going to basically give us free reign into their territory. And we move forward. The Carthaginian army marches onward, and we're going to win. Ooh, that's a stack wipe. Hurrah for Carthage. Alright, you've recovered a bunch of your food. Let's go ahead and have you siege down this fort. Let's end these little green fellas' resistance. In the meantime, I'll just continue to take slaves from some of these southern Iberian tribes. Why can you not go anywhere? Oh, because he's assigned to this region. Alright, I'll go ahead and unassign you from that region. We'll put Himilco Barca in charge. His family has a lot of positions. If I can double a family that holds twice as many jobs as it expects will become grateful, thus increasing his loyalty. He's already very loyal. But he's a member of the religious faction. I'm all for the religious faction. I'm pretty much all for every faction, with the exception of the populist faction. I think, though, I'm going to go with Garibald Barca. I'm going to increase his prominence a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to increase his prominence a little bit. Your prominence is already perfectly suited. Plus, he has a sieging trait. If we take a look, he gets siege ability plus 10%, and, you know, not that he's necessarily sieging. Well, he can go siege this fort. Now, I do... Oh, it's this one. This is the mission. So, Punic Intervention. Now, I doubt they give us... you know what? I'll say nonsense. He's doing a fine job. It's this mission that I was looking for earlier. So, we need all of the areas highlighted in green. So, pretty much all of... I mean, we currently control most of it, with the exception of that one little province capital, which we can pretty easily probably grab. Ooh, this is going to be... We would lose this fight. Let's see. Alright, they have just a lot of light infantry as well as some chariots. So, let's see if... Is shock action the best thing we could do? No, it's not. Deception would be good. Now, they're going to be focusing on light infantry. So maybe they'd be doing skirmishing. So, yeah, I'm thinking we're going to go with Deception. And I am going to try to retreat away. I'm going to... I guess bring these 30,000... No. Those 30,000 men should just sit there. We might actually win this fight anyway. We do have a good general. Oh, would you look at that? I guess right. Skirmishing was what they did. We have the tactics advantage. They have the general advantage, but we have the terrain advantage. So this look for us to get an easy win here and really do a number on the Orientanian army. Excellent work, my friends. Excellent work. And you can go right on to sieging. I hope everyone had a good holiday. I went home for the holidays. I live about 5.5, 6-ish hours away from my hometown where I grew up, and it's always good to go back, see everyone, see all the old friends, see the folks. Good times, good times. Let's take a look at the omens. We're fighting in a war, but I like that national commerce income, especially since right now we're making most of our money off taxes. But increasing commerce income isn't necessarily a bad thing. Province loyalty, I don't think we're struggling anywhere with province loyalty. We can take a look at that. That's region map mode. Here's province map mode. Alright, so we're struggling a little bit in Iberia. That's kind of to be expected. We don't have the right culture, don't have the right religion there. Everywhere else, we seem to be doing just fine. You're decreasing province loyalty. Everywhere else should be increasing. I guess we can get this army of 10,000 out of here. And send them back on their way. Yeah, you know what? I'll go ahead and trade away some fish. I think I might actually go with national citizen output. Let's increase that tech ratio. Or, well, we're not increasing the tech ratio, but let's just try to get a little bit faster tech. Plus, with better tech, we actually are going... with better citizen output, we should actually get more commerce output anyway, because if you take a look, citizens, well, they influence both your commerce output and your research output. So, excellent. I think I'm going to go ahead and just build a temple here. Let's go ahead and work on changing the religion. Yeah, well, actually that was probably the wrong choice. I probably should have gone with a... Alright, so let's cancel that. And instead, let's go with a theater. I'll build a theater here. What's this? Yeah, good. Governor policy has changed religion. So, in the end, changing religion will also help us change our culture faster. And you can come here. We have a new election coming up. Ooh, and we want a siege. Excellent. That's going to pretty much end it for our opponents down here in the south, and we will be able to maneuver all of our forces northward. This siege should fall any day now. This siege should also fall soon. Yeah, this war is over. I just wish that, because we would be suing for a separate piece, wouldn't we? We have a new suffate. Let's actually just take a look at that. Yada Milk Barca. I love the name Yada Milk. What a wonderful name. So Yada Milk Barca is our new suffet. He seems pretty decent. He's 5'5", 8'3". Alright, so, you know, he's a modest guy. He's pretty unassuming. He doesn't necessarily command the room, but he does command some respect. So he's a polymath. Okay, that means he actually gives me national citizen output by plus 5%. So yeah, I'll definitely take that. He's a poet. He's a poet, and he definitely knows it. Let's go ahead and replace him with a new magistrate. Someone like you, who is both very good at your job, which is going to help reduce that aggressive expansion, as well as I actually really like this guy, so I'm kind of pumped that he is going to be gaining some prominence. So hopefully he will one day be I don't know, maybe a suffate of himself. I like that he's in the mercantile faction. I'm a big fan of the mercantile faction just because I like that commerce income. Of course, there are other faction benefits that are useful as well. For instance, if we take a look at the civic faction, hey, that national tax bonus, well, that's huge too, considering how much money we make from taxes. So I definitely wouldn't mind it if someone from the civic faction were to come into power as well. let's actually take a look at that. It does appear that someone from the Civic faction will be in power next, which, hey, I'm all for it. I would love to just revolve back and forth between the Mercantile and the Civic factions and just kind of oscillate back and forth. Hey, check it out, we've won this siege right before they attacked us. That's bad luck on their part because even though they have a much larger army, now we are the defender. We should probably have changed tactics. We knew better than that. We knew they'd be in skirmishing. Let's go ahead and hire Himmelko down here. He's not super useful. I mean, the Sacrifice to Gods cost minus 4%. That's a button I don't really hit a lot. But I guess it can be useful. We are about to get another military tradition. Now, I started out working my way down this line. Then I came over here and got the cheaper mercenaries. I'm actually might lose this after all. Yep, it looks like I will unless I do something about it. There's no way that army gets there in time. We are defeated, actually. Well, that's a shame. Oh well, we captured the fort, and these 20,000 men will come in and handle it nicely, I'm sure. We have a Scorn family. Let's go ahead and click that. Ooh, and we have also a civic advancement. Let's check out what our new inventions are. Build cost minus 5%. I'm all for that. Definitely all for that national commerce income. Alright, so I definitely want all of these. The problem is, these inventions are crazy expensive at 641. And while I am making plenty of cash, I mean, it just, you know, there's a lot of things I'm wanting to spend my cash on. I'm going to keep these 28,000 men sitting right where they are. They pretty much poured their entire army into relieving that siege, and they got there just late. But that did open up an avenue of expansion for them, potentially to come south through Orientania into kind of my Iberian heartland. However, I do have 20,000 men ready to stand in their way. I do think I'm ready for this war to be over. I wish my allies were similarly as ready. And I do hope my allies give me all the territory that I want. I'm going to use these 20,000 men. Actually, I'm going to use these 6,000 men to come and just capture this province capital. Let's just go ahead and hold on to it. Yeah, they're going to attack me. They are going to get the defender bonus. Ooh, we get a river crossing penalty? Alright, I hate that we get a river crossing penalty even though we were already there. Either way, our army is easily strong enough to defeat them. They lost 4,300 of their men. Those are losses that I'm just not sure they can continue to sustain. They're going to lose another fight, and these 16,000 men are going to come and clean up a little bit. So, inevitably, their grand offensive push to try to relieve some of these sieges, well, it looks like it's going to fail, just like their war effort in general. In the meantime, I'm just going to continue my onslaught up here. Am I at war with this country? No, they are actually an ally of me. Oh! Yeah, you know what? I'm all for him gaining 60 conviction for the Civic faction. I guess we can go and siege down some of these besieged forts. Is this a fully maintained fort? Do they have 1,000 men there? They do. Oh, and it looks like just like that, the war is over, with us not gaining any territory. Well, we knew that was a risk. We knew that was probably going to happen, but we felt like it was important to play the game, protect our allies, although I am kind of disappointed a little bit. I definitely thought that after how many Carthaginians bled and died for this cause that they would be at least willing to share some of the spoils of victory. However, I'm honestly not really sure what they ended up getting either. I wish there was like a final peace screen that showed you like, hey, what everyone got. You know, like if I was the war leader, we would get that. Why didn't I get it when I was just a member of the war? Like it's still a useful thing to have, you know? Speaking of useful, that little quick response army down here of 10,000 men, let's go ahead and put them into boats, get them somewhere a little bit more useful than the deserts of kind of middle, the Central Africa, I guess you would say. We are so close to getting that next military tradition. And as I said, I originally started working my way down this way. Then it was like, hey, maybe I'll come actually this direction. But now I'm leaning much more towards this central line. And I know, it's not great to kind of be wishy-washy back and forth about which tech line you're going to go down. But, I mean, I guess I'm using a lot of heavy infantry, so heavy infantry offense would be good. Morale of navies is always going to be good, because we are Carthage. But I like the ship's damage taken minus 20%. As well as light infantry defense. I use a lot of light infantry, a lot more than normal. And ship damage done, plus 10%. I think I'm actually just going to go ahead and take this, and try to maybe start working my way down this central line. I know. I should have probably picked a line and stuck with it, but oh well. In the meantime, Carthage can get some more food. You know what? Or can get another trade route. Let's go ahead and just bring in some livestock. That's going to give us a surplus of livestock in the capital, which, you know what that means, right? It means the entire country gets pop promotion speed plus 25%. Awesome. So we don't have any more build slots. I guess I could go ahead and grab another build slot, but actually I'm going to come here and install provincial procurators. That's just going to make all my pops just a little bit more efficient. And after all, more efficient pops are, well, more money, more research, more manpower. And that's, in the end, that's awesome. That's what I want. Speaking of, we probably should let our manpower reserves heal up a little bit. I think I'm going to go ahead and... Ooh, I guess I am no longer allied with Tartesia. I'm going to go ahead and fabricate a claim on Baetica Botatanus. I don't even have a truce with them, so... Unfortunately for me to finish this side of the mission tree, I do have to capture this one little territory, which means I do have to go to war with the Tartesians. They were super helpful, but alas, all of these Iberian nations, they're only as helpful as, well, once they outlive their usefulness, the Carthage army walks in. Once they outlive their usefulness, the Carthage army just invades. It's how it happens. It's what happens. It is how the Carthaginians go. I think I'm just going to go ahead and keep most of my forces in Iberia. I don't really see a reason. I have these 35,000 men just sitting here training. I'll go ahead and train all my forces, honestly. But I have just these 35,000 plus these 10,000. So there are 45,000 men plus, I mean, this army is assigned to the region. So, like, I have plenty of troops in mainland Carthage or, you know, Africa to respond to any threat. So I am just going to probably actually build another army in Iberia. Or I could just hire another army in Iberia. You know what? I never did get rid of that Scorn family. I need to hire someone from the Gizgoid family. I guess that means that I'll try to find someone like you down here to be in charge of that army. Ooh, a venomous tongue. The governor of Corsica is a particularly weasel-like man, a fact that is making itself clearer now more than ever. He has begun stirring up the people of his governance, perhaps hoping to challenge our rule. How dare he? How dare he? Alright, Eshbal Barca, what are you doing? Well, we can say we cannot move against Eshbal, because then Corsica would lose 28 loyalty. They are currently 85. And he would gain 10 corruption, or we could imprison him. But then Corsica would be disloyal. I'm going to go ahead and say we can't move against him. In the meantime, since we're making so much money, we actually have enough money for a new invention. I guess it's worth taking a new invention. Let me see. Primary culture happiness could be good. But honestly, I think probably what we're going to be looking at most... Ooh. Quadriere discipline. Just standard discipline. National commerce income. Ooh, all of these are so good. All these are so good. Oratory Provincial investment cost minus 5%. Make my citizens more efficient. Oh gosh, I'm kind of at a loss here. I don't know which one I want. I think I'm going to go with discipline, just because the more disciplined your soldiers are, well, the better your armies fight, and the better your armies fight, well, the better you are overall. And honestly, the more money you make overall, because you don't have to spend as much money on armies. Let's go ahead and just keep training. That is going to hamper how much money we're making, but I think it's worth it for that military experience. Alright, our claim is fabricating nicely. That's going to mean that we will soon be ready to invade Tartesia. Now, they have some allies. Who are they allied with? They're allied with the Zolia. Where are you? Alright, so I'm not super worried about you. And who else are you allied with? The Terdulians. Alright. So we got Tartesia, Terdulia, and Turdetania. Man, these names, y'all. They're quite something. In the meantime, do I want to build another army, or do I just want to let my manpower recovery? I think I probably have enough troops here to take on the Tartesians, so I'm actually going to hold off on building another army. I am going to actually move the fleet over to Iberia, though. It's going to come down here in this little settlement of Ballio. Yeah, just Ballio. The reason I'm going to do that is I do think I'm going to take these 20,000 men and move them past this fort, this border fort. So my kind of plan for invasion is I'll move 28,000 men across this strait. Then these 15,000 men will come here and occupy the war goal. And then I will take an army of 20,000 and maybe, you know, just try to grab one of these ports, probably this port, just to force them to push their army in two different directions. If I'll leave my navy here, if we seem like we're going to be outmatched, I will then put out to sea again. We're 70% of the way there. We do get our... oh no, that's provincial investment. Where's our claims? Are we not... Are we done with the claim already? No. Well, I don't want to cancel it. Oh, we're 91% of the way done. Right? Yeah, claim fabrication. We do fabricate claims really quickly. Athens wants some grain from us. You know what? Sure, I'll give Athens some grain. And we have a new scorned family. It's the Gizgoids again. Who would have thought? I think I might just let them be for a minute. Let's check out the Gizgoid family. Alright, a disagreement on the highest levels. Eshbal Barca, a man of sound reputation, and Bomilcar Bostara, noblemen of great virtue, have recently started to spar furiously whilst attending the Senate. Well, that is behavior unbecoming of senators. Alright, such behavior is unbecoming of the stature. Yeah, so, they're both in the religious faction. They both like me a lot. I'm just gonna go with this one. Alright, so let's look at the Gizgoid faction, or the Gizgoid family. Oh, the claim has been fabricated. Let's pause for a second. It's like this guy. I could probably make him... I could have him do something, although he's terrible. Yeah, you know what? I might just let the Gizgoids be a little angry for a little while. They have a couple people in power. And, I mean, he's still very loyal. Even with the Scorn family, he's actually gaining loyalty. So I'm just going to let the Gizgoids be a little mad for a minute. Alright, as soon as this army of 20,000 men arrives in Beleu, I will go ahead and declare war. Unless I'm not truce breaking, am I? Yeah, take the war goal. You know what? No, I'm not going to call my allies in. Alright, and we are in another war in Iberia. I'm going to, of course, just follow through with my war plan. Those 28,000 men go. These 20,000 men load into some ships. And these ships come to the southern Portuguese coastline. We've had a major death. Ooh, and we need a new governor. Well, maybe this is the role for a Giscoid. He's not great, but I kind of like him. He's in the civic faction, so... It is also nice that we're hitting the Tartesians while they're also at war with someone else, and they only have 19 cohorts to their name. So, I mean, if we look at just the war in general, I mean, just us, yeah, we outnumber them quite handedly. I'm just going to go ahead and have the fleet make land here. And have these 20,000 men just kind of continue to... I don't know, just kind of... wreak havoc behind enemy lines. We do siege this down so quickly. Just so fast. We don't get much money per month, though. It's going to be a whole long time before we're ready for another military invention if we're only getting 2 ducats per month. I could think about changing my laws. Maybe not while I'm at war, but... like this, pop conversion speed. You know what? Yeah, I'm just going to do it while I'm at war. Well, if that will event some free manpower, all for that. Ooh. Now we have 2 Scorn families, the Hannadids as well as the Bonadids. As jobs come open, I'll make sure to give jobs to that family, but I'm not going to worry about it too much right now. After all, we are at war. We have other things to worry about besides just the petty squabbling some of the ridiculous families in the Senate, right? Alright, and capturing this province capital is going to be really helpful because this army's not running low on food, but I mean, they're eating out of their supply wagon instead of out of the local grain stores at the moment, so... Now, I'm not saying that I'm not here to capture all of Turdetania, or Tartesia, rather, because I would like to take a significant chunk out of just southern Iberia. But really what I'm looking for is this one province right here in this war, because then I will be able to hit the button, what was it? Securing Baetica. Alright, their armies have arrived in force. Pirates have also arrived. Not going to worry about the pirates too much. I am a little more worried about these armies, so I'm actually going to try to retreat across this river. We have won this siege, which is actually going to make my river retreat kind of a moot point, because we're now going to be able to attack with the full brunt of the Carthaginian army, and it is a strong army. We are going to easily stack wipe those 1,000 men, and now we are going to attack pretty much, I think this is pretty much the entirety of our opponent's main forces. So if we can, well, alright, so they're not going to we're not going to be able to bait that 18,000 men into a fight, but alas, they're using shock action. We can change from shock action to something that's a little bit better. How about bottleneck? Oh, I guess he was a better general. Oh, now they do end up moving those 18,000 men in, and that was a disastrous mistake because they are going to lose them very quickly. And honestly, I think that probably so ends the ability for them to fight back in this war. And we are just going to go ahead and start conquering. We are in a good spot with our aggressive expansion. However, keep in mind we have to do some expanding and some aggressive expanding up here if we're going to finish up some of these missions, which, you know, my goal for the campaign was to work my way through these missions, working my way through the missions. I'm going to go ahead and try to siege down this fort. I don't necessarily know how much, if any, land I would take from the Terdulians, but might as well grab it, right? Let's check out... I guess I should probably be trying to spread some more of my culture and religion. I'm going to go ahead and build... Let's see, what do I need here? A temple, that's for sure. Or, not a temple, a theater. And it might be time to start changing up some... governor policies. Start getting, because right now, let's take a look. Right now, I've got a civilization effort. Ooh, I don't want this. That should be... Let's go with religious conversion. But like here, I think we're about ready to start switching it over to be cultural assimilation. Here, I'm going to go ahead and say the same thing. Let's cultural assimilate. Oh, we have our barbarians. Where did they come from? I didn't even see. Yep, they're down here. It's alright. Now, this army of 13,000 men should be able to react to that much better. Unfortunately, even though it's a new governor, the governor is still a lousy, lousy general. Unfortunately, I do think this is where I'm going to have to end it for today. We're, you know, a little over 35 minutes. I usually like to keep these to, like, between 30 and 40 minutes. But, yeah, so we are Carthage. We are... this is our Hannibal at the Gates campaign. We are eventually, hopefully, going to sack and siege Rome down itself and invade Italy, although I'm kind of reserving that for the very late game periods. I would love it if my major conflicts with Rome, my like kind of penultimate conflict with Rome didn't occur until after like the year 700 mark, but we'll just have to see. I've already had one kind of epic war with Rome because they came over and took this one little province in Africa that I needed, this one little territory in Africa that I needed. So I am, you know, kind of playing this power struggle game with Rome, but really I'm focusing on going through the missions. Let's try to secure Iberia, and then let's see what the Roman AI can do to, one, stop a Carthaginian player, but also to expand on its own. Right now, I guess this is a decent enough place for the Roman AI to be at year 530, but I would love to see them expand a little bit more before our epic showdown concludes. Either way, I've been Ben the Bold, you've been you. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, hit up that like button, hit up that subscribe button. Again, sorry for the delay between this video and the last video. I was traveling, and then I've also been kind of sick, and I'm on the mend, so hopefully I'll be getting more videos out relatively soon. Sorry for that snivel. Anyway, I hope you're having a great week. I hope you're having a great holidays. Happy New Year, everyone. This is the end of 2019. I hope 2020 is amazing, or, you know, as good as 2019 was at least. And I will see you on the next one.